Γεια σας, καλησπέρα. Δεν έχω προλάβει και εγώ να συνέλθω καλά από την ομιλία, από το event που έγινε με τον Robin Sharma. Τι να σας πω. Ναι, είμαι ακόμα και θα είμαι για πολλές μέρες, υποθέτω, υπό την επίρρεια αυτού του οποίου συνέβη. Πείτε μου αν με ακούτε και αν με βλέπετε καλά. Δεν έχω προλάβει να συνέλθω, τελειώσαμε περίπου στις 3:30. Γεια σου Άννη, σε ευχαριστούμε για τα καλά σου λόγια. Γεια σου Έλενα, γεια σου Σιλβάνα, υπέροχη ομιλία, συγχαρητήρια Αποστόλη. Σε ευχαριστούμε Γιώργο, να είστε καλά, να είστε καλά. Κανονίσαμε αυτό το Instagram Live με τον Robin, ήταν η τελευταία φορά που κάναμε πριν περίπου 3 χρόνια και είμαι πάρα πολύ χαρούμενος έτσι που μπορούμε να κάνουμε ξανά. Θα συνδεθεί υποθέτω σε λίγο μαζί μας. Θα τον δω. Τι να πω, η ομιλία view request, ωραία, τον κάνω accept. Τώρα μάλλον, νάτος. Hello Robin.
Apostolos, how are you?
Welcome. I'm fine.
Nice to see you. I haven't seen you for at least 2 hours.
Well, before we had a selfie together and I told you unique moments and I mean it from inside my heart. Thank you so much for your speech, for the moments that we live together. What a speech that you did before at the Taekwondo Stadium, 3,000 people. Everybody was watching at you, 100% was there. Congrats for the wonderful speech.
Thank you. The audience was very generous, very interested in leadership and personal development, and I've fallen in love with Greece.
That means that you'll come back again, probably.
I look forward to it. How are you doing? You did a great job.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your words mean a lot to me.
Well, you do something that very few speakers do, and you pause. So I see so many speakers that it's like such a rush, and you'd make a point, you'd pause, and I think that has a very it allows the information to people to connect to it. I thought it was very good. So.
Such an honor to me. Such an honor. Thank you so much. Robin, you are about to publish a new book, right? Is that correct?
Yes, I have a new book coming out worldwide on April the 9th.
Great news. Can we have some more news about it?
Sure. It's called The Wealth Money Can't Buy.
The Wealth Money Can't Buy. Great. Excellent title.
The Wealth Money Can't Buy. And it'll be published in Greece, of course. And it's based on a model that I've been teaching to my clients, billionaires and CEOs and sports stars, entertainers, and it's called the 8 forms of wealth. So if you could imagine a model, and it's called the 8 forms of wealth model. And the main idea is our society, Apostolos, has taught us that you're rich if you have a lot of money. And yet I've met so many people who are very rich financially and they're living very poor lives. Their health is suffering. They're disconnected from their family. They're not enjoying life. They're not enjoying the simple pleasures. Spiritually, they're empty. So the Wealth Money Can't Buy is really, it's a whole new definition of success, and it explains how to live your richest life. And money is one of the 8 forms of wealth, but there's 7 other forms of wealth that are required to live a truly successful life. And those include family, health, your social circle, et cetera, et cetera. And I think we live in a world where a lot of people, you know, they've chased the ideas on success that society has told them, and it's left a lot of people feeling very empty and very frustrated.
So Robin, what exactly made you, what was that force, that your need to write this new book? What was your vision about it?
Well, it was driven, it's a great question. It was driven because my clients, you know, I do a lot of models. Anyone who's read, I know you have a lot of followers, and it's really a pleasure to be on this Instagram live with you from my hotel room here in Athens. And the 5am Club had a lot of models in it. And so my readers told me they loved the models. And my clients have told me this 8 forms of wealth model it's probably the model out of all my methodology, it's the model they love the most.
Okay.
And so I thought, okay, the next book, make it all about the 8 forms of wealth, and make the book, you know, the wealth money can't buy. And it's true, you know, I think there's a lot of very rich people who are very poor. And I think there's a lot of people who might not have a lot of financial wealth, but they have fantastic family lives, and maybe they're gardeners or what, and they love what they do, and they take the time to go out and have nature walks, and they play the piano, and they read, and those are really rich people. Because I think about what Jim Carrey said. He said, I wish everyone became rich and famous to realize it doesn't make a difference. And I think that's really true.
Rob, may I ask you something? Is there a correlation, you think? I mean, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari was published 25 years ago. Yes, huh? 25 years ago. Is there any correlation, you think, or it's something that you maybe have been inspired from? The Man Who Sold His Ferrari and The Wealth Money Can Buy. Is there any points that you've been inspired from in order to continue?
It's a very thoughtful question. I just think intuitively, we've gone through a pandemic. There's war, there's inflation and a cost of living crisis. There's climate change, there's social polarization. And a lot of people are looking for real wealth. Like, what's this all about? And
you're right.
And I think ultimately what we're looking for, Apostolos, is we're looking for peace, inner peace. And it's interesting that society programs us. If we have a lot of followers on social media, if we have a cool car, if we have a big house, we have a lot of money, you'll wake up and you'll feel happy and you'll have a sense of peace. But that's not true. It's the old Zen proverb, wherever you go, there you are. And it's such a trap of the ego. In The Wealth Money Can't Buy, I started off with this story of this man who saw this gorgeous house up on a horizon on the distance. And he said, one day I will go to this beautiful house and experience it. And so, of course, you know, when the time was right, he made the trip, took a long journey, climbed the mountain, and he found the house was this broken down house. But because of the light fall, there was an optical illusion that made it look like this palace. And I think that's the metrics of success that society sells to us. Be liked by a lot of people online, get the fast car, fly in the private jet, get the right watch. It causes people to, it causes a lot of stress for people. And then the strange thing is, when people get it, they feel exactly the same.
Totally agree.
Right? So so ultimately, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with material things at all, but if it's not until you find that inner peace and that inner joy. I mean, there's a great line. It's not my line. It's a philosophical line, but be in the world, but not of the world. So be in the world, participate in it, get material things if they'll make you happy, but don't let those things be the source of your joy because they're fleeting.
Robin, you know that I've been following you. I told you I grew up with you. That's true. I've been inspired by your books, by your sayings, by your quotes. And 5 a.m. Club, the 5 a.m. Club, your book has inspired me so much. Actually, it has changed my life, okay? It's the reason that I created the speakers, right? The speakers were created because I read and followed the 5 a.m. Club, okay? That's my truth.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
That's my truth. That's my truth. Today, during my speech, I used a quote of yours. Nothing fails like success. You are a successful man, globally. What does this quote mean to you? You have said it. Nothing fails like success. So how do you handle the success of your books, of everything that happened so far in your life that you totally, of course, deserve it? But since this quote is so motivating and it's important to us, it's important to understand why nothing fails like success, in order to understand what should we do when success comes into our lives. So what is there from you to share about this?
Well, the first thing I'd say, Apostolos, is, you know, I don't think very much of myself.
Okay.
And
okay.
What I mean by that is, you know, it's not like I have low self-esteem, but I don't think I'm so special. You know, look at what you do. Look at what a teacher does in the community. Look at the taxi driver. Like, we're all equal on this planet. And so I do what I do. The teacher does what he or she does. The gardener, we're all equal. So I'm not so special. So I don't think that much of myself. The second, so I don't think that, you know, I don't worry about success and that. And then the second thing is, I shared it in my presentation today. Yeah. The mastery, humility, proportionality. As success and mastery grows, humility should grow. Because success is very dangerous. The moment you think you're successful, you're on the path to obsolescence. The moment you think you're successful, you can fall in love with your success and stop learning and growing and innovating and serving and getting up at 5 a.m. and trying to get better. So I think the key to legendary is longevity. And I want to be writing books for my amazing readers in Greece for at least another 30 years. And so that doesn't happen if you think you're special. You've got to, I'm only as good as my last book. And if I just mail in the next book and it's, you know, like a formula that I know will do well, people might buy the next book, but they won't buy the one after that.
Robin, I have here with me the Greek version of Who Will Cry When You Die, and the English version of your latest book, The Everyday Hero Manifesto. Is there something, you have written so many books, okay? Is there something that you would like to share with us after writing so many books and 2 months before your new book being published, April the 9th, you told us, right? April the 9th, The Wolf Money Can Buy It. 2 months before having published your new book, is there a lesson, a quote, or something that you've learned that you came across all these years after writing so many books, so many bestsellers?
There's a lot.
Of course.
one thing that just intuitively comes to mind is don't forget who puts food on your family's table. And my readers, like I love my readers. There's a sacred bond that I have with each of my readers, not only in Greece, but around the world. And so this new book, The Wealth Money Can't Buy, I want this to be a book that moves them deeply, that serves them deeply. I rewrote it maybe 20 times. I worked for most of the year on this book, and I've
heard you mentioning it before during your speech, that you've wrote your book so many times, and I was like, whoa, yeah, you've written it again so many times, right? Just because you want it to be perfect. I mean, like to be the way you want it to be, right?
Yeah. If your viewers look at my feed, my Instagram feed, probably 2 weeks ago, I showed just some of my manuscripts of this new book, and there were 10 of them stacked up. And the manuscript was 350, 400 pages. I mean, just imagine going through 400 pages 10 times over a year, or 20 times over a year, and rewriting the whole thing. But I mean, and I've heard people say, oh, I wrote a book in I talked to someone recently, he said, I wrote a book in 2 weeks. And that's fine. I'm not here to judge.
Okay.
But I don't know how people do it,
Okay. I totally understand.
Yeah, I'm not here to judge. Everyone has their own process. Excuse me. Everyone has their own process. But for me, I mean, it's painful. When I write my books, it's painful because I work so hard on them. And I'm a perfectionist. And you know what? Maybe that's not a bad thing. And I really want my readers to have the absolute best I can give them.
Robin, one last question before we close. You've been in Athens, Greece since Friday. Today we held your speech, our event together. 3,000 people were there, a warm atmosphere. Can't wait to live this again. How do you leave Athens? What's your final message after spending these days in Greece, after today's event and speech? Is there anything to share with us?
Well, and I don't say this to flatter, but this is a great country. I look at what you all went through in 2009, and then I look at the resilience of the Greek people. Right now, your economy is so strong.
That's true.
I walked last night before our dinner. I walked to an area of Athens where I could see the Acropolis,
beautiful,
and the Parthenon. So it's a country of great philosophy, great wisdom, Spartan warriors, and so I would say, there's a reason you should be proud as Greeks, and it's been just an honor to be here and have 3,000 people show up at today's event, and it's been great, and I can't wait to come back.
Let's do it again. Once again, thank you so much for your love, for your trust, for your support, for being here, for doing this wonderful speech. Robin, thank you so much. And you've been inspiring me for the past 20 years. Wish you all the best. Your new book, The Wealth Money Can Buy. I can't wait to read it. And let's hope that we'll meet really soon in the future. Thanks again. Keep for everything.
Keep up the great work you're doing. You're helping a lot of people, Apostolos. Take
Much
care. Thanks to all the viewers.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Καλό βράδυ σε όλους. Good night.